Welcome back to my channel Coins Numismatic series. The 1971 Washington quarter without a mint mark is a fascinating piece of American coinage that continues to intrigue collectors. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, which began in 1932. While at first glance, a 1971 quarter in fine condition may not seem particularly valuable, there are several factors that can significantly impact its worth. From rare errors to high-grade specimens, certain 1971 quarters have commanded impressive prices at auction, making them a sought-after addition to any numismatic collection. The 1971 P. Washington quarter was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, following the 1965 transition away from 90% silver. Over 109 million quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint that year, making it a relatively common issue in circulated grades. However, the real excitement lies in the details, specifically in high-grade examples, error varieties, and any unusual minting anomalies. While a 1971 quarter in fine condition may generally be worth only its face value, there are certain rare versions that have sold for thousands of dollars. One of the most notable factors affecting the value of a 1971 P quarter is its condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated tend to lose their luster and exhibit significant wear, which lowers their market price. However, for collectors seeking pristine examples, high-grade versions of this coin can be quite valuable. In fact, a 1971 P quarter graded MS-67 or higher can command prices upwards of $2,500, with the rarest near-perfect examples even exceeding $5,000 at auction. The key here is strong strike quality, minimal marks, and a lustrous surface, attributes that make these quarters particularly desirable in the collecting community. Beyond condition, errors and varieties play a major role in determining a coin's value. One of the most sought-after error types for the 1971 P quarter is the doubled die variety. A doubled die occurs when the coin's design elements are struck twice at slightly different angles, creating a noticeable doubling effect. In some cases, this doubling can be seen in the lettering or in Washington's profile, making the coin a standout piece. If a strong doubled die example is found, even in fine condition, it could be worth several $100s, and in mint state grades, these coins can fetch $5,000 or more. Another major error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when a coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a portion of the design being cut off. Minor off-center strikes may add only a small premium to the coin's value, but dramatic errors, where 50% or more of the design is missing, can be worth over $1,000 if the date is still visible. These types of coins appeal to error collectors who specialize in rare minting mistakes. One particularly fascinating error found on some 1971 P quarters is the missing clad layer. This occurs when one of the nickel layers fails to bond properly to the copper core, revealing a reddish or brownish appearance on one side of the coin. A quarter with a missing clad layer is instantly recognizable and highly sought after, with values ranging from $500 to $2,000 depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. Broad strikes are another type of minting error that can add value to a 1971 P quarter. When a coin is struck without the retaining collar in place, it spreads out, losing its reeded edge and appearing slightly larger than a normal quarter. A broad strike error can be quite valuable, especially if it remains in higher grades. Even in circulated condition, these coins can sell for $200 to $500, while uncirculated specimens can bring over $1,000. Another interesting feature to watch for in 1971 P quarters is a potential repunched mint mark RPM. While Philadelphia quarters from this era technically did not have a mint mark, repunched mint mark-like effects can sometimes occur due to die wear or unusual striking conditions. While not as common as in Denver or San Francisco mint coins, any unusual die varieties should be carefully examined by a numismatist, as unique characteristics can dramatically dramatically increase a coin's value. For collectors, registry sets and high-grade coins have become increasingly popular, contributing to rising values for the best-preserved 1971 quarters. In recent years, as more numismatists focus on modern clad coinage, top-tier examples have sold for record prices. Even though the majority of circulated 1971 P quarters remain at or near face value, there is always the possibility of discovering an overlooked rarity, making this coin worth checking carefully. Historically, the 1971 P Washington quarter is significant because it represents an era when the U.S. Mint was refining its production processes for clad coinage. After the elimination of silver from dimes and quarters in 1965, the U.S. Mint faced some challenges with striking quality and planche consistency. This led to certain coins from the late 1960s and early 1970s showing weak strikes or inconsistencies, which can sometimes result in collectible varieties. Understanding the historical context of this coin adds depth to its numismatic appeal. As with all collectible coins, authentication and grading are critical when determining value. If you believe you have a 1971 P quarter with a unique error or in an exceptionally high grade, submitting it to a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC can provide an official assessment and certification. Slabbed and graded coins generally sell for higher prices because buyers have confidence in their authenticity and condition. Market trends indicate that Washington quarters, particularly those from the clad era, are gaining more recognition among collectors, while silver quarters from earlier years tend to dominate discussions of value. The demand for high-grade clad quarters is steadily increasing. As a result, even modern issues like the 1971 P quarter can command impressive prices under the right circumstances. Let's explore another Washington quarter that has made waves in the collecting community, proving once again that even an everyday coin can hold extraordinary value. The 1980 Washington quarter dollar with the Philadelphia Mint mark is one of those coins that may seem ordinary at first glance, but holds fascinating potential for collectors. While the 1980 P quarter was minted in high numbers, with over 635 million struck, certain varieties, errors, and high-grade examples have captured the attention of numismatists. Even in fine condition, some rare errors or specific characteristics can push the value of this coin beyond its face value. The 1980 Washington quarter was part of the long-running series that began in 1932, originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue for George Washington's bicentennial. However, its popularity led to it becoming a permanent fixture in American coinage. By 1980, the quarter was still composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, having transitioned from 90% silver to clad in 1965. This makes the 1980 P quarter a modern coin in terms of composition, but that doesn't mean it lacks value or collectible appeal. One of the primary factors determining a coin's worth is its condition, and in fine condition, a 1980 P Washington quarter is typically worth just a little above face value. But things get more interesting when we examine potential errors and high-grade examples. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-struck coins with minimal wear, and some of the highest-graded specimens can reach impressive figures at auction. One of the notable varieties associated with this coin is the doubled die error. A doubled die occurs during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin has a slight misalignment, causing certain design elements to appear doubled. For the 1980 P quarter, some collectors have reported doubling in the lettering or even in Washington's eye, which, if verified and in high grades, can command significant premiums. A dramatic doubled die in mint state could fetch anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Depending on the strength of the doubling and overall condition. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. When a coin is not properly aligned during striking, it results in an off-center appearance where part of the design is missing. A minor off-center strike of around 5% to 10% may only add a small premium, but an off-center strike of 50% or more while keeping the date visible can easily bring in $1,000 or more. The rarer and more visually striking the error, the more valuable the coin becomes to error collectors. A significant but less common error seen on Washington quarters from this period is the broad strike. This occurs when the collar die, which holds the coin in place during striking, malfunctions, allowing the coin to spread out and lose its reeded edge. Broad-struck quarters often have an unusual, almost melted appearance around the rim, and collectors highly prize these oddities. A broad strike error in fine condition might bring in around $100 to $200, but in higher grades, the price can jump significantly. Another sought-after error is the missing clad layer. Since Washington quarters from 1980 are made of a copper-nickel clad composition, errors where one of the clad layers is missing reveal the copper core, giving the coin a unique reddish appearance. A 1980p quarter with a missing clad layer can be worth $500 to $1,500, depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. While fine condition typically limits a coin's value, it's always worth carefully examining your 1980p quarter for any unusual characteristics. Even minor errors or varieties can make a significant difference. However, for those looking at the most valuable specimens, mint state examples graded MS 67 or higher can reach impressive figures. A 1980p Washington quarter in MS 67 condition has been known to sell for over $1,500, with exceptionally well-struck examples in MS 68 condition commanding $5,000 or more. The key here is finding a quarter with sharp details, no major scratches, and strong luster, as these factors contribute to its overall desirability. In the broader context of Washington quarters, the 1980p issue represents an important moment in numismatic history. It was one of the last years before the U.S. Mint implemented the P mint mark on all Philadelphia-struck coins in 1980. Prior to this, quarters from Philadelphia did not bear a mint mark at all, making the addition of the P a distinguishing feature for this year. This historical detail adds a layer of interest for collectors who enjoy tracking changes in U.S. coinage design. Market trends show that modern clad quarters, once overlooked, are gaining more recognition in the collecting world. With the increasing popularity of registry sets, where collectors aim to assemble the highest graded examples of each coin, demand for top-tier 1980p quarters has risen. Even though circulated coins in fine condition may not bring the highest premiums, they still hold historical and numismatic significance. The presence of any rare errors or varieties could dramatically shift the value, making even an everyday quarter something worth taking a closer look at. If you enjoy this episode, like, subscribe, and comments below. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.